Viewer discretion is advised.
Working from home,
Yep.
trying to schedule new things with new people that I've met so far. So
Awesome.
busy.
Cool. Let's bring in the guest. Let's bring in the man of the hour.
Of course.
He is the legendary Big Clutch.
Hi, Big.
How you doing, Big Clutch?
What's going on? I'm fantastic. How are you guys?
Good. How are you, Big?
Just, it's been a busy couple days, which is nice. We're back in the swing of things at the Skybound offices, so it's been just trying to get my bearings straight for the new year.
Oh, yes. I can agree
awesome.
on that. Yeah.
How'd you get your start in the industry, man?
It's a good question. I still don't even know if I've really started. We've been doing this for 11 years, I guess, at this point. But I was a fan originally. I started going to San Diego Comic-Con in '98. And then eventually just, met enough good people. And one of those people really kind of came through with the connection. Cena Grace, who's a creator, writer, artist, extravagantly, amazingly person. He ended up getting a job at Skybound when it started in 2010. And he was looking for... We were friends from before that, from when he used to work at a comic shop, and I shopped there. And he ended up... needed people to work the booth at San Diego Comic-Con the first year that Skybound was there to announce the Walking Dead TV show and whatnot. And me and my buddy Dave Andre, who's a comic writer now as well, we volunteered, and then that just started it all off. We started going to San Diego, then we did New York, and then we did WonderCon, and then after WonderCon, basically a year of just giving up my own vacations to go work for Skybound on the free. They ended up offering me a job, and that was it. Started there in 2011 and just hit 10 years last spring.
That's
Wow, so
awesome.
was Skybound already, information by the time you started working for them, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd known about Robert Kirkman. I mean, so Skybound is Robert Kirkman's company that he created with David Hancock to kind of like the start of the Walking Dead show. And so we ended up. I knew all of his books. I was a fan of his stuff from Battle Pope days, through all the stuff he did with he did the Thundercats and Space Ace and all these other smaller self-published books and public books for other publishers as well. And then I jumped at the opportunity to work with these guys. Like, they're a fantastic company, and we've got an amazing crew, and it's awesome.
That's awesome. I love that. I have been dying to go to San Diego Comic-Con for years now, and I've just never made it there.
It's an amazing show when it's on.
Oh yeah.
It sucks that the past couple of years, I think that was the first time in 20 something years that I hadn't gone. So
yeah.
And a lot of people else who also had the same thing, people who've been going ever since it started. So
yeah, it's been keeping me from my comic conventions and my concerts, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Oh yeah, I love going out to shows. I love going to conventions. You go when you go to a show, there are people you only see at the conventions, right? So I have friends that I see once or twice a year, but only at New York Comic Con or San Diego, or
depending on which con it is, you only see them at that show, and that's it for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one of my favorites right now is my favorite band, but he also makes comics, Claudio Sanchez.
Love Claudio.
Yeah, love. I'm a diehard like Coheed and Cambria fan, and like the Amory Wars, like that's my go-to. So I'm like dying, like I gotta go there. I gotta get there. I gotta just get him to sign some shit. So.
He's a great dude, and they do really great stuff, and all the stuff that Coheed's done. And
genius.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Clutch. Were you at the San Diego in Thanksgiving weekend?
No, we skipped that one. We would have normally set up at the show, but the holiday weekend was a little tough, and I think that the consensus was for us, like, we wanted to spend the time with our families. We did end up going the week after that. We went to Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle, and then we went to C2E2 in Chicago the week right after that.
Shout out!
I saw the exclusive you did for C2E2.
Oh, Adrian knows Evil Inc. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we love Evil Inc. Yeah.
Yeah, the variants we had for Emerald City and C2E2 were pretty awesome. We did a Walking Dead Deluxe 27 variant. It was drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, and that's the first appearance of the governor. And so Dan drew this amazing image of Rick getting his hand chopped off by the governor, and of course in Dan's crazy style, it's all bloody and crazy sound effects everywhere. It was pretty sweet.
Yes, I love variants of anything. It's like a treasure hunt for me most of the time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I love comic book collecting, but that's awesome. What you do is fantastic. I love it.
It's pretty cool. I feel, it's to use the term blessed, I guess. It's like one of the things, like, I didn't expect to be in the industry as a kid. I love music, I love comics, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'll ever be able to work in either. And luckily, I have been able to work in both over the course of my life, and it's it's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
What have you done in music?
I worked. Oh man. Back in the day, and this seems like, I'm looking at my watch, like, 25 plus years ago, but I managed a record store to start in my hometown. I was a radio DJ for a couple of years. And then when I moved down to LA, finished up school, I got jobs. I worked at Sony Music and I worked at Capitol Records. So I worked for the big dogs doing stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic.
And that's where I came into to find Coheed was when I was at Columbia. They were signed to Columbia, and so we had worked on those guys in some of their music videos, and they're just super talented dudes.
Oh yeah, with the whole story that like just everything that's all together. I'm like, give me the comic books, damn it. I want the storyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I obviously love the music too, but the the comics, all of it is fantastic. But I'm a fan of pretty much anything. I like all kinds of stuff.
What are some surprises we'd be looking forward to from Skybound in 2022?
Oh man, we got a lot of stuff on the plate. We're launching. So we're getting into licensed comics, which is pretty wild. Because normally Skybound is part of Image, under Image Comics, so it's all creator owned stuff. And this is our first kind of foray into doing a really big licensed comic. We've done stuff with Summoner's War before. We did something for we worked with Dr. Pepper on a book, but this is our first full big push.
Into that Dr. Pepper book was you guys?
We did, yeah. That was a couple years ago. The one that with the Dr. Pepper, and they had the little sweet cameo in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna launch. I think this spring we're launching our first book with Lego. We're gonna launch Ninjago Garmadon issue #1. And we're really
love Ninjago. Love Ninjago.
So great, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go into the world of Garmadon and see what he's been up to. It's really exciting. The art looks great. I think we're gonna solicit it pretty soon. I'm excited for it to get out there. I think fans are gonna really be stoked to see how well Skybound's able to kind of help usher in the Lego universe into comic space.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
As part of UCPN, I have to give a shout out to the Random Dude Josh and the Pepper Pack podcast. He does a special podcast for UCPN in coordination with Dr. Pepper. So hearing you guys talk about Dr. Pepper, I had to give that shout out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. He did share that really sweet care pack from Dr. Pepper.
Yes, good. So I've just taken a look at Skybound. I have not heard. I'm brand new. I've just ventured into it the past couple of days after talking to Adam. So tell me, is it the Skybound encompasses everything?
Pretty much. We got a lot of stuff, So it started off with Robert Kirkman and The Walking Dead.
Okay. We all know that, yeah.
Everyone knows that one at this point, right? There's millions and millions of folks. Mm-hmm. We have Invincible, which is another comic book and series that is now on Amazon Prime. We've got season 2 of that coming out hopefully next year. We do a bunch of other stuff in all sorts of comic spaces. We've got young adults line called Comet that's coming out later this year. So we're going to release Clementine, which is a Walking Dead story. Which is based off the Telltale Walking Dead video game series featuring Clementine. A couple other amazing books in our comic line as well. We do comic books from, talented guys like James Herron. We do Ultra Mega. We've got Daniel Warren Johnson with Extremity and with Murder Falcon.
You also have Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny, that's been one of our legacy ones. That we started that book when I started the company in 2011.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that we're coming up to the end of it here now is pretty awesome. Excellence is another book that I love. We just fulfilled the Kickstarter for the Excellence hardcover recently. So there's a lot of cool stuff. And then we also do video games. We've got the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners VR game, which is super creepy if you play VR stuff. It is.
Really?
It blows. It's crazy blowing my mind. We've got a whole board game division, which I helped start with Super Fight back in the day, which is a party card game.
Haven't played that in years.
Title Blades. We've got Wonderland's War. All sorts of cool stuff in the tabletop space. Oh man, what else do we do? Movie Trivia Showdown. So if you guys are movie trivia buffs, we have a contest show called Movie Trivia Showdown. Hosted by Christian Harloff.
That's you guys?
Yeah, that's us.
I'm addicted to that. To watch it.
So good.
I love it.
My favorite thing was Chris Jericho versus Kevin Smith.
Oh, such a good. Yeah, that was a great matchup.
I watched two of my childhood heroes just going to war. It was oh wow.
Secret variants. Yeah. Oh man, I love the secret variants. So
question came in from Lucas. How come you guys don't do secret variants anymore?
Oh, we've done secret variants recently. I think we had a couple in last year where we dropped a couple stuff. I think we'll have more stuff coming out. I mean, I can't tell you, it's a secret, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
we're always looking to do cool stuff. I mean, Robert loves to drop, he loves to drop complete books. I think that I think last year Solid Blood 17, which was a complete thing that came out of a different universe and just showed up in comic shops one day. Yeah, I mean, we're always looking to do fun stuff. So keep your eye open for speaker variants, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, variants and hard. I don't know. I always have a hard time like deciding between like the full comic series and waiting for the trade paperback and like wondering whether or not which one I should invest in. Like I want the whole thing in a hardcover, but then I don't. I want to get each individual one by themselves. But I'm a collector. I'm gonna put it away. It's gonna sit on my shelf forever, and I'm never gonna look at. I'm gonna look at it once and then put it back, and then it's never going to see the light of day ever again.
I do the same thing too. I'll buy two of things. So if I want to have one to read, and I'll tuck one away or whatever. If I want to get rated,
like, this hardcover will look better on my bookshelf.
Hardcovers are great, but they do get expensive. They take up a ton of space and they're really heavy to move, which has always been like my thing. Like when I move apartments or houses, I'm like, all right, I got to box up all my books, and then like I got to put them all in the car.
A box of like hardcovers and omnibus and absolutes. I'm like, this may be a little heavy.
Oh, yeah.
I have an Invincible question.
Heavy.
You think sometime in season 2 and season 3 we will get the Invincible Spawn Savage Dragon crossover?
Oh my gosh!
And if so, can we have Keith David reprise the role of Spawn?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that won't happen. I mean, as you can imagine, like creator rights and all that stuff, it's a little bit easier to do in comic space, right? Because you're just like, hey, you're my bud. I'm going to have Eric do this thing, and I'm going to have Todd do this thing, and we're going to smash them all in there. But once it gets to film and TV rights, and you're dealing with like big studios like Amazon or AMC or whatever, like they get really tied up with what they want to do and what they can put in there. And so I would assume like you won't see a lot of crossover stuff. And I think it's the same stuff with how like Marvel and DC used to do those amalgam crossovers, and like Justice League fights the Avengers or whatever. Like that stuff is really hard to do with the
but the zombie version could happen.
I mean,
zombie version, like you could always do the zombie version. Zombie version, everything.
I'm all for zombie versions of everything too.
Me too.
I'm excited. I'm pumped for the Marvel Zombies to be an actual little show. I think that was one of my favorite parts of What If. I love the comic series. Like, I think it'll be an amazing show if they pull it off.
Yeah, like everything zombies is like, it's good already. Make a zombie. It'll be a hit.
It only gets cooler.
Yeah, it only gets cooler. Exactly.
What did Robert think of the What If episode?
Actually, we haven't talked about it. We talk about stuff all the time, but I forgot to mention like, hey, what did you think of that? Because I saw it. I think I may have sent him a text. I'm like, hey, that was pretty cool, right? And I don't think I ever heard back from him, so I'll have to ask him next time.
Yeah, because it took me a couple minutes. That's what Robert Kirkman did right that first miniseries.
Yeah. Which is such a good series.
He took.
I think there is like they have like the big omnibus of that, right? Like, I think one of those.
And I know this probably never see the light of day on screen, but one of the favorite things that was ever done was Marvel Zombies versus the Evil Dead.
Oh, that was good too. Yeah.
Versus the Evil Dead. I love that.
Yeah, Evil Dead is one of my. Always been one of my favorite series. Ash is awesome. Army of Darkness, awesome. Love it.
Oh yeah, Army of Darkness, of course.
Yeah. So how does the Comic Vault work?
So yeah, Comics Vault Live is a show that I host once or twice a month, depending on the platform. It was basically started as an opportunity for us to kind of sell books that we have that are kind of rare to fans. So if we went in, let's say we did a variant for The Walking Dead in 2014, some people may not have seen that book. And so you usually have comps and stuff that you tuck away and you put in a closet somewhere. And so I was like, hey, we can get these graded and sell and make sure people know they're in good condition. And I was like, let's just try this out. And so we did it a couple times in early 2020. I think, it started in January 2020. And of course, the world went to shoot.
You can say whatever you want on the show.
Oh, awesome. The world went to fucking hell in March. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? Conventions, like, because everything stopped. Oh, I just went out of focus. Hands. Hello, hands. Everything stopped right before Emerald City Comic Con in March. And so we were like, how do we pivot and start, finding ways to kind of get to our fans? And we said, let's kind of continue with the show. We found more books to sell and went digging into the storage unit and into the vault at the office. And we dug up cool stuff and started selling more stuff to fans. And then as that grew, we figured, hey, this is a bigger show. Let's start doing more stuff. And so we started doing variants that are specific just for our show. Started working with other publishers. We've done stuff with Image. We've done stuff with Boom. We've got a couple other ones in the new year that will be with other publishers we haven't worked with yet. And I'm really excited.
I saw you opening up the forbidden door just a little bit.
Trying to, a little wrestling lingo.
Oh yeah, I'll ask my wrestling question to you now. If you could cast MJF as a villain, who would it be?
MJF.
Yeah.
That's all you need. He's the villain of the villain. He would make a good Flash Thompson, right? I think he got the arrogance of Flash from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I would love to see him. Well, he's shorter guy, right? I think he's a little short. So I say
shorter.
He can kind of fit. What if he was Wolverine? A hero. You see, like he's a little hairy and stuff like that. He could be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, like I said, I'm addicted to AEW.
AEW is fantastic. I love those guys.
Yeah, I just watched the street fight between Bunny and Penelope versus crap, I forgot who was a guest at the moment. It was like one of the matches of the year.
Oh yeah, it was such a good fight. So good.
So did you have these like comics that you do on your live stream? Do you get those graded? Is that what you do?
Yeah. So for the most part, the books we sell on are CGC graded. For me, I find it to be easier to know that, like, hey, if you're going to get a book, you're going to get it in the best possible shape. Because I've ordered stuff from other companies, and it comes in, and it's like, oh, cool. I just spent like $50 on this variant. The corner's dinged up in shipping or whatever. So I felt that with CGC Comics, like, it's like, hey, the book's going to be in great condition. It's going to be protected. You ship it out. You know what you're going to get. You don't have to worry about, getting something that's going to be, a little messed up or not come in at the level that you need. I was like, this is the best way to do it. And I collect a ton of CGC stuff on the shelf next to me.
Exactly. I love the CGC.
So, yeah. So that works out.
Whatnot?
Yeah, we sell on Whatnot too. And so that this past year, Whatnot came onto the scene, and we talked to those guys early. I was actually the first person to ever sell a comic book on Whatnot, which is super cool to me. Like, I don't know, it's super fun to see how they've grown now. And so we host a show there once a month. And I think in the new year, as we get progressive longer, we'll be doing more. Hopefully we'll be doing Whatnot every week, which would be really cool as we get more stuff in. So it's just trying to find all the product.
The Whatnot office wants to remember that I did submit 2 applications already. Please, thank you.
Come on, Jack, get this done.
Yeah, we need to see what's in that vault. What secret treasures you have lying around.
There's a lot of cool stuff. I tell you, like you'd be surprised at the stuff you forgot that we end up having. Like, whether it's a variant or whatever. I'm like, oh, I forgot that we produced this book. There was a really cool one that we released. I found a couple, and it was an Invincible issue, I think 135, and Ryan Otley had done a Gwen Invincible cover, and so he basically drew like a female Invincible, but if it was Gwen Stacy, like the
oh wow, I don't even remember that.
I love that.
All that stuff. And I was like, this cover is awesome. This looks great. So we found a couple of those and offered those back up, and I think people completely forgot that was a book that we had done. So I think it was maybe an April Fool's cover, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I love all like the ones that are like just strictly black and white. Like I saw one. Got one at Awesome Con It was just like it was just a black cover. It was just like completely black, no words on it. Stood out above like everything that I saw. It was super cool. And then like the trifold, like or the wraparounds. I'm a sucker for wraparounds too.
Yeah, wraparound covers are awesome. I mean, ever since like, X-Men #1, we've seen the first time with that Jim Lee fold out, and you're like, like, it's so cool when they can do it. We've had Charlie's done a couple of those for us for The Walking Dead over the years, and they're just always you stare at them like these are stunning.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I love these so much.
So, did you ever think The Walking Dead would be the phenomenon that it's become?
I mean, no, I don't think so.
I feel like nobody did. I feel like no one did at all.
Yeah, it was, the book came out in 2003, and I remember reading like on, it was CBR or something back then when they first announced like, hey, this is the book coming out in a couple months, blah, blah, blah. I picked it up and I was like, oh, it's really cool. I enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what, at some point, I think I stopped collecting it probably after issue 48, like after that first big arc with the prison and stuff. And I was like, it's fine. It's good, but it's like, I had to like move money around and change it. So I stopped collecting for a little while and then got back to it when I got into volunteering. And even then I was like, all right, it's going to be, it's cool. It's going to be a show, but I don't think we had seen any sort of, I mean, outside of the Marvel films and whatnot, we'd never seen any real big comic presence really take hold in the public,
Back in 2011, the MCU was still in its infancy.
Exactly. Yeah. We're still early days. I think we'd only just gotten like Iron Man 2 at that point.
Yeah, you get superheroes and you don't get the independence. Like I read so many comic books. I'm like, this needs to be a show. This would be a great show. This would be an awesome show. Like, where are we at? Everything needs to just be a show.
There's so much good stuff out there. And I just, exactly. I'd love to see it all in different, mediums and whatnot. So, yeah. And the fact that it did take hold, I think helped out with the comics world in general. And I think it got studio execs and big high profile actors and actresses to kind of say like, hey, this is a cool thing. Like, I want to get involved with these different types of storytelling.
Yeah, but then there was like I remember a whole thing because I did read the first couple and then like as soon as the show came out, because you get your comic, you yourself have made like your own realm of like how these people interact together in your head, and like as soon as the show comes out, it's like ruined. You're like, nope, this is not how. I mean, same with books, like same with Harry Potter, same with anything. It's like, nope, this is not how it should have been. Like they ruined it. They ruined everything. They ruined the comic books. It's like awful.
It's so hard to like disassociate the two from it, right? So if you've got into a book or something, and books are always like, I think, the tougher medium to carry over because every person has their own individual way that they view it, right? Comics, you have like, you see the image, you see the artwork, you know what it looks like. So you're already like, hey, this is what it should look like. Books are like, in my head, I have it look like this. And so trying to get them to like merge is so tough, but I think it's funny, like a couple of guys that work, Sean Makowitz and Brent Huntington, like we see movies a lot together, and I'm always really forgiving of adaptations and whatnot. I'm like, look, it's a different person's view. This is the director's view, whatever. And so they kind of like chuckle at me a little bit because I'm like, oh, that movie was fine. And they're like, that was trash compared to like what they thought it would be. So
exactly. Well, sometimes, especially now with movies, they do the whole, it's like the prequel to the prequel. And I'm like, no, like I didn't come here to see why this and this happened. Like I wanted the original story that I saw just remade. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to know what happened.
The perfect example of a remake. The next gen movie is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Just watched it yesterday. I wasn't expecting much at all. Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I enjoyed it a ton, and it hit all sorts of fan service. It got you all the little beats. You're like, oh my god, you geek out on the parts and like you remember from back in the day and the originals. And it was really cool, and it was a great way to kind of like bring it into another generation.
Yeah,
it may have helped. I also saw a little bit of myself in one of the characters as well. So,
I mean, I think we all hope to do that too.
For sure.
Will we ever see the Astonishing Wolfman make an appearance on screen?
I would love it. I think that's such an underrated series. I think people sleep on. It's so like not what you expect it to be. It's so violent and gnarly. Yeah, I'd love it to get turned into something at some point.
For sure.
I want to know something. It's a personal, crusade of mine. I think we can market and make viable a comic book in Braille. Amazon, stop.
I think that'd be
Blind Adam, you are an asshole. Stop telling me to shut the fuck up. Hey, everybody,
Lucas,
this
I
is
will tell you to
Lucas.
shut up, and you will
Hi,
like it.
Lucas.
Happy New Year, yo.
what is up?
Hey, what's going on, Big Clutch? What's going on, Autumn? Nice to see you
Hi,
again.
how are you?
Oh my God, you guys look like you're having so much fun, but I had to pop in, man, freaking just to tell y'all you're having too much damn fun without me. This is not going to go, man.
It's
I don't.
not allowed.
Yeah, I'm like an old angry wife, man. If I see you having fun, I gotta pop in and tell y'all I'm stop.
I'll get into this line.
What you do having fun without me?
Amazon, disable all alarms.
Yeah, so I will be your man in the chair while Nemesis takes his little bitch ass bed with some Robitussin.
Thank you, Nemesis, for
He's
coming
like,
on.
yeah, I got COVID. What the fuck, man? I got the flu Rona. No, you don't.
He's
I'm
got
reading
like
the
all
papers.
sorts of stuff.
Making a hypochondriac mother. I really do wish Nemesis well, man. Freaking and all y'all sick
Amazon,
motherfuckers out
cancel
there.
all alarms.
Just settle in, freaking pour yourself some whiskey, put it in the microwave, heat it up, and freaking down, and you'll be alright.
Putting whiskey in the microwave?
Well,
What?
because look, if you put it, here's what you gotta learn, man. Unless you've got like one of those tea joints, man, if you put it in a freaking pot and you just let the thing goes off, all the nutrients, all the vitamins, you can just freaking leave off, man. That's why you freaking put it in the microwave and freaking it's just like a closed
The
arena.
nutrients evaporate.
All right, before I bounce, I just have to say, Lucas, I'm coming to your house, and out here in California, we do tequila, not whiskey. So that's it. I'm out.
All right, see you next week, then.
I am a lifelong Californian. And I am whiskey 100%. I cannot.
Oh, okay.
See, but hot tequila, I don't know about that now. But hot mezcal, yeah, that might be something that you can get into. You just need to pour your little juice or something out.
There you go.
But yeah,
All right.
but
You
yeah.
guys have a good one. I'm bouncing. So.
All right, bounce,
Okay.
bye.
Yeah, man, take a little bitch ass to bed. All right, so what's the conversation? What are you guys talking
See, I
about,
think
man?
the question I was asking before you jumped in, I was wondering if there were, we can ever make comic books in Braille viable and marketable.
All right, hear ye. Let this be known that this is the first time on one of Blind Adam's shows that he's going 32 minutes. 32 minutes without something to talk about, somebody going in or out of somebody's ass or mouth. This is a record. Just so y'all know.
Don't get used to it.
I'm going to call Guinness Book of World Records. Let's get this going.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 2022, Adam decided to turn over a new
No.
leaf or something.
I'm trying to impress Sean over here.
Sean, man,
Appreciate that.
I had some questions about some Walking Dead parodies I was going to ask, but I decided not to.
Okay.
Some fan fiction.
So I definitely had to jump in anytime somebody talks about zombies. But so what led to Walking Dead was that for like 3 years prior to that, there was a whole bunch of really great freaking movies, like remakes of Day of the Dead and Summer of the Dead and all types of other stuff. Korea, they were coming up with all types of crazy stuff that were zombie-like but more into the paranormal stuff. So it was a whole build-up. So you could see that somebody had to freaking jump in and do something. And there was a whole bunch of comic books that were optioned but never freaking made. So for Walking Dead, we were the first one to have a TV series that was kind of had as much of a production value as it did. That was freaking awesome. But yeah, that was a whole thing that was leading up for at least 3 years, man.
Yeah, people were completely shocked. I remember it being like the first weird, like creepy thing, I guess, for at my age, whenever I don't fucking know how old I was then, whenever I saw for the first time on TV, but like it was like something weird. Like we'd never seen anything like that before on TV, like all the blood and guts and gore. I was just like, this is on regular television. Like people nobody's gonna like this. Nobody's like their whole, 6 episodes for the first season just
Well,
to see how it's gonna be, and then it's like everybody's in love.
That's a really good point. So AMC wasn't really regular television. AMC is like one of those cable networks. However, the interesting about it is like AMC, they are black, right? They're suit and tie, and that's what they were at the time. They were suit and tie,
Yeah,
remakes of other stuff.
they were very like just normal.
Yeah, and then unfortunately for them, they haven't really been able to capture that same magic for them. Unfortunately,
Not with anything else new. Not
well,
yeah,
so
like that's what AMC is now known for, like
yes.
The Walking Dead. Like not I mean,
Let's not forget Fear the Walking Dead too.
well, yeah, of course. But
So what's interesting is that I think it was just announced today or sometime this week that AMC has just bought a anime studio. They're looking to get into that foray. So look out.
that
If
could be
AMC,
fun.
yeah, I mean, think about that. You've got your access to a whole bunch of artists and what have you. How would you guys feel about a Walking Dead anime?
Zombie anime.
Let's let Sean go first.
Hey man, I'm all for it. I love anime. I think it's an awesome medium. I'd love to see it. I think there was years ago somebody had done a manga style of the first like issue of The Walking Dead. I think they drew out most of the stuff in an anime manga style, and it was super cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I believe that would be awesome, and a lot of people would.
Have you guys seen Train to Busan?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I don't know if you guys seen it yet, but there was an anime, not an anime version of that, but there was a prequel to that, and they did it in anime style, and it was pretty awesome. But
Mhm.
once again, I think what's been working for the zombie content that's been coming out is that at the end of the day, the hero is not going to freaking see the world. The hero is not going to freaking get out of this. Uh, women, and children are not going to freaking survive this. And that's what's been working, especially for Korean horror. They fucking love that shit. They love to fucking scare little fucking girls and fucking kids with that shit. Oh yeah, you're fucking weak. You're not making out of this. They fucking love putting that right up front.
I mean, and if they do that in anime style, I feel like definitely people will.
Interesting. I hope AMC is freaking listening, and not just freaking gonna, just use whatever. I mean, first they'll probably use whatever they have in their archives, but if they can come up with something, that's down their lane and use some of the properties that they've got under their freaking belts, that could be amazing. So Skybound, I heard you say that you got a whole bunch of stuff that's coming out this coming year. So hopefully, we've already seen the Walking Dead stuff. What I do love is what is it called? Anita's blog or something like that. That's some scary shit right there. I don't know if you've seen any of the fucking covers for that. That one's, yeah. Some of that Matina covers, those joints are fucking crazy. So it would be interesting to see what you guys do with that, man. But yeah, man, freaking. So do you mostly just do proper stuff from Image, or are you guys branching out to other publishers?
Yeah, for Comics All Live, we got other publisher stuff. We did a couple books with Boom over the last year. We did a couple things with Image Comics. We've got a couple other publishers we're going to work with in the coming year for variants as well. Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I would love to see if you're working with Boom, Buckhead. That's going to be an interesting joint.
Yeah.
I'm predicting that to be the bitter root for 2022 or 2023.
What book?
See, I'm a fan of I'm a Dark Horse fan.
Dark Horse girl. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think Dark Horse, was it Dark Horse? Or no, IDW is losing Star Wars content to Dark Horse.
It's going back to Dark Horse.
Yeah, so
Did
that's
Dark
going to be
Horse
interesting.
just get bought?
I don't know what's going on with that. I've heard rumors of something. I think it's actually been confirmed that that's what's happening. There's been a lot of purchases within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's been kind of interesting. Yeah, freaking AT&T. They just got their Discovery freaking thing confirmed. Fanatics. They just bought Tops. That was for a 500 million deal. That's freaking huge. Um,
Oh,
freaking Autumn. She's gonna get bought on the freaking black market for I don't know how much, but we're gonna,
Hey, don't worry about it.
we're gonna freaking auction off Blind Adam's asshole to some porn star. We're gonna put it on freaking OnlyFans.
I guess if we were auctioning it, I guess that works. But I was offering to a particular group of girls for free.
we're trying to
We'll
break
get
a
that
world
next
record
week, but we
here.
don't have a guest.
Are we not?
You know,
Hey, but we're just trying to stay off from Makari, man. Them dudes are shady, but hey,
excuse me, Sean. What do we have to look forward to in the Walking Dead universe in 2022?
2022, we've got Clementine. So we've got the book from Tilly Walden, which picks up on the Clementine story in the Walking Dead universe. Kind of picks up post the video games, and it's going to be a really cool look at what she's got going on.
Is that the VR one?
No, VR one's called Saints and Sinners.
Saints and Sinners.
The
Okay.
Clementine. This is the Telltale Walking Dead series, and so Clementine was the main character in that series.
Yeah. Okay. I want to try the VR. I just got an Oculus, so I'm.
Oh, so good.
And I haven't actually tried any games or anything on it yet. I'm just haven't taken it out of the box. So.
So speaking of VR, PlayStation just came out with the announcement of their second version of their VR thing coming out. And what's interesting is it said that one of the first games that it is definitely appropriate for is the Horizon. There's going to be a new Horizon game on there. So there's like Horizon Zero and everything.
Yeah,
The
Horizon
only
Zero
reason,
Dawn, and then it's like Horizon. Is it New West? Is the new one they called?
yes, something like that.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I bring it up is because Horizon Zero Dawn they do have a comic that's out there, and there was a 1/100 that's out there. That it was going for like $30 or $40. Now you can't freaking find it anywhere. So if you guys see it, you'll probably see it freaking on my car or whatever. If you see it, freaking pick it up. But it's one of those.
On my car.
Yeah, because I love making fun of them, man. Because there's been a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's been happening. People buying stuff off of Macari. Like there's this one dude who bought an Amazing Spider-Man 300 off of Macari. Then it was like a Wolverine #2 from 2014 or some shit like that. It was when he opened it up, I was like, oh crap. Look, I'm pretty sure there are some good sellers over there, man. But I'm just not my comic books, man. I'm just not. eBay's still shady as hell as well. But
eBay's still questionable. Yeah, questionable at best. I never trust eBay.
yeah.
But Whatnot's great.
Yeah.
Whatnot's where it's at.
Well, we'll see. It's still in the wild. It's not in the wild west yet. It's still in the beta testing. That's the great thing, right? So there's a lot of vetted sellers out on there. So it's a friend of a friend of a friend, just like Facebook was before they open it up to everybody. So I'm telling you, the problem is that once they open it up to everybody, all the freaking rats and fucking dirty mugs are fucking gonna come in and just ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. And I don't have any places local to even get anything weird anymore. Like my local comic book store just has it's like straight up superhero everything, like Marvel, DC. They don't want anything else. I'm like, I have this right here. Like it's worth money. Like, do you want it? Like I've tried to sell and trade and he's just not for it. Like he doesn't want any like indie books at all.
Yeah.
Let's get
I'm like, you can find some of the best artwork in the indie book, like indie anything. I mean, that's just
there's some websites out there that do consignment. You could send it to them and they'll try and sell it for you, and they'll even give you a like a front fee or something like that for what they think your comic will sell for.
Yeah.
But that's about it, But sometimes it's not even freaking worth it if it's not CGC or anything like that, man.
Oh
But
yeah, there's none of it.
Next, I have a question for Sean.
Bring it.
Let's see, you got like a series of March coming out with Starsky.
Hutch?
Chip Starsky. I forget the name of the series off the top of my head.
Oh, I think it's so we've got Stillwater with Chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stillwater. I was looking at that. That looks cool.
Yeah, Stillwater's a really cool series. Yeah, I think we've got there's it's like the history, it's like a backstory of a lot of the different tales of Stillwater. Yeah.
It was one of those like towns where you can never escape, you know. It
Never
always is with you everywhere you go. type.
How did that come to Skybound?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a good book.
Yeah.
So what am I don't understand. So you're saying that Skybound is putting out a cover for Stillwater, is what you're saying?
No, we
we're
published
actually putting the
Stillwater.
book out.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stuck on stupid. It's way past my drinking time.
Dog, you get a pass. It's all good.
Yeah, I've never really done Adam's show freaking sober, but here the fuck I am.
Oh wow, this is the first.
It is. You're welcome.
I'm trying to be all mainstream. You're sober.
We'll bringing in a new year and watch next show. Nah, that's not. Actually, we'll see, man. Freaking all types of crazy stuff happening, man. Freaking.
Definitely.
But oh man, so between the two of you, what is your next shows that you guys are planning? If once again I say if this whole freaking shebang doesn't fucking close down, because just getting news with the last 14 hours that all cruise lines, not all cruise lines, actually the big two in the region Royal are shutting down right now. So first is sports, next is cruise lines.
Yeah.
Chicago schools, all the Chicago schools are shutting down. Last week, 11 counties in Maryland are shutting down.
Yep.
So it's starting already.
It's coming.
So, what are you guys going to try and get in before all the fun shuts down?
I will be wherever. Like I do cons and Exotica and stuff like that. But if we can't travel, I guess we can't travel. I don't know what else there is to
Because
do.
even the first one of those is until like April.
Yeah, April, June, July.
This case, my question goes out to everyone on the dais. How badly do you think this current variant is going to affect the upcoming convention season for the year?
I hope it doesn't, because I already bought tickets to a Coheed and Cambria show in February. Like, I'm trying to go. I'm concert deprived. I just, I hope they don't close everything down. Honestly, I don't think everybody can take another year of it, if we're being honest.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. I know personally, I've been itching, and getting out to the shows in December was great. I've been to a couple of sporting events, a couple of wrestling shows. I don't want to see it go away, but it's out there. It's aggressive right now. Thankfully, it doesn't seem, if you're vaccinated, it doesn't seem like it's putting you down too hard. So, hopefully everyone can get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. It just feels like it's 2022. It feels like 2020 part 2 at the moment.
Indeed.
Let's hope not.
Exactly.
I mean, I can work from home, but still.
Well, not all of us could sell fucking feet pictures, Autumn. No shit.
Yeah,
I'm out here in Maryland looking at all these freaking grandmas flush with cash. Talking about bank, and OnlyFans got me flush. Like, bitch, like
us Maryland girls, we sell feet
too.
pics.
And Sean, it's like I agreed to come on this show. What the hell?
It's a good time. It's a fun time. But Lucas, like, I guarantee you, if you put your feet pics up, you'd be able to sell some. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Sean.
It's just not the young girls, man. The old school gals, man. The old school gals.
School gal.
Fucking
Hey, excuse me, Sean. I guess I'll ask the question. What's your thoughts on some of the Walking Dead parodies over the years?
I have not seen any.
All right, not even the Robot Chicken special.
The Robot Chickens, yeah, I've seen I've seen stuff too. Yeah, I mean you can't not see it, right? So yeah, I love all the Robot Chicken stuff. If you were talking that stuff, the adult stuff, I've seen a couple clips here and there. They're pretty hilarious. I mean that shows you like how big The Walking Dead's got, right? Like that parody is the biggest form of I guess appreciation or flattery, right? Like it's kind of wild.
Just my good friend Joe and Angel with Burning Angels put out a Walking Dead parody back in 2013.
Hey, here's a question. The top secret Lego comic. Did that ever get revealed?
Yeah, I think it's a Lego Garmadon or Ninjago Garmadon.
Yes, a Ninjago.
So that'll come out in I think March or April. I think it's April.
Okay, so it hasn't come out.
Not yet.
Okay. Do we have imagery of it? Do you happen to have it in the background somewhere?
I don't have nothing here. I don't think it. We haven't shown the cover art until.
Damn it, Adam! You gotta tell the guests they're supposed to have the shit in the fucking background. So when I ask them, they can fucking just show me some special shit. I'm supposed to go, wow.
Oh man, I'm gonna get. I can't release this.
So you want to get maybe?
Because all I'm looking at is action figures that I can barely see. You know I'm freaking half glaucoma. I think I see a chia pet. I don't know what the. And there's awesome beard.
Chia pets over
Lucas,
here.
are you sure you're sober?
Huh?
Because it sounds like an episode of Drunken Chat Son.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
We all the only people. Adam doesn't have his his action figures up. Everybody else here does.
Yeah.
So.
You know I'm not drunk because I haven't asked Autumn to bring out her toys yet. So
Yeah, that's true.
I put all mine away. You just can't see them. They're here. They're just.
Thank God. Goddamn, making a black man blush. That ain't right.
But that was awesome. I should make that a highlight clip for future episodes.
We went for talk about video games to, hey, you see this fucking thing? Hey.
Excuse me, Sean. When do you think Daniel Bryanson's going to win the title?
Spoiler, not tonight.
Yes, Lucas.
But I hope Paige keeps it for a while. I don't think we need to take off. I don't think they need to take it off Hangman Page yet. But a lot of good challengers. I'd love to see Brian with it, but I think you got to let Paige have it for a run.
Nice. I also want to see CM Punk have another feud beyond the MJF feud as well.
Oh yeah, Punk.
I'm
excited to see what he can pull off.
I don't know. The only thing that's boring me in AEW right now is the whole Cody thing, but because it's Cody.
It's definitely a weird run. I'm not sure where they're going with it. I think Cody said in an interview that he's liking this to Empire Strikes Back in terms of the scope of what he's trying to pull off with this whole storyline. So, we'll have to ride it with him and see how it goes.
Oh yeah, and then of course Britt Baker is Britt Baker, so she's like one of my dream guests for a future episode.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
Yeah, 2 street fights in 1 year. And I said you're doing license. Sky Mal was getting the licensed comics, and he tried to get an AEW comic off the ground.
You know what? I'll tell you, we talked to those guys in the early days about trying to do something, but nothing ever came to fruition. So whatever they do, I'll buy it myself.
Same here. I mean, they're all fanboys.
Yeah.
Between Matt Cadona and Evan Page doing their action figure shows.
Yeah, Christopher Daniels is a huge comic fan. Cody's a big comic guy too. I think he was buddies with Aubrey Sitterson, and they hung out for a while. So yeah, big dudes.
And of course, Cody came to superstardom fighting Stephen Amell.
Oh yeah, so good.
Which they actually at conventions when they would ever actually continue the feud.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and convention. I went to one convention. It was Heroes and Villains Stamp Fest, where they were both there, and they were both in character to each other the entire convention.
It's got to be so tough to kind of keep the kayfabe and try to be in character while you're amongst fans, because you just want to I think you want to let down a little bit, but they'll go.
Yep.
What are you currently watching, binging, and or reading?
Oh, good. That's a great question. We just got done. I think like everyone just got done watching The Witcher over the holiday break. I need to catch up on the last season of Expanse. I'm a big fan of science fiction stuff. I need to catch up on Star Trek Discovery. Wheel of Time. Watch that. Love a lot of genre stuff. I'm a big nerd in that way. Reading books. I've got Something That's Killing the Children. It's one of the top books I've been thinking about lately. Stray Dogs. I'm excited to read Dog Days. I haven't picked up my copies yet.
Yeah, didn't you guys have a variant for Dog Days?
Yeah, we're going to be we'll be launching that one hopefully in the next 2 weeks. We're going to launch, we did a Walking Dead #1 homage, and Tony did the cover for us. So pumped for that.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it should be great.
I'm trying to get Tony and Trish back on.
Yeah, they're good folks. Good folks.
Mm. I haven't picked up a comic book in so long.
Come on.
Since Awesome Con, I guess, which was August, I think, is whenever Awesome Con was. But yeah, I went there. I got a couple anything weird that I saw there. I picked up. Obviously, sign it for me, please. But
now that enough time has passed, what do you guys all think of Spider-Man: No Way Home?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
I got super teary-eyed in the movie theater. It's like, oh, this is awesome. It hit home on a couple things. It was really cool.
Yeah, so my kids wanted to watch it, so we watched it. I had to rent it, obviously, because I don't leave my house. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite superhero movies of the year.
Oh, yeah, I feel like everybody's a Spider-Man fan. Like, you cannot just not be a Spider-Man fan. Like,
Alfred Molina knocked Dr. Octopus out of the park.
Oh yeah, so good.
And I also liked all the interactions between the three main kids.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I did not mind Zendaya as MJ this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool because it gets you, it just makes every one of those is valid. It makes you feel like, hey, it's not, they didn't just rewrite it and they're gone. Like, they all exist, and
yeah,
gets you to keep your childhood. I love the Toby films. Watching those in the early 2000s were my favorite, and so
yeah, 100%.
It's now a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah, it's so weird to think that movie came out in 2001. Like,
exactly, I know, right?
Because that's also the last movie poster that ever had the World Trade Centers on it too.
That's right. Yeah.
Did we talk about? Did anybody see The Matrix? Did you guys watch Matrix?
I did. And
yeah, exactly. It was kind of
like, I was like,
so
why?
Right, yeah. So no, I
Like,
didn't go back. I didn't go.
In, like, the trailer, I was like, yes, this is gonna be so good. And like,
so I didn't go back and see Matrix 1, 2, and 3. And there's also a cartoon out there, and that's what I really wanted to watch before I watched
that Matrix, like the original cartoon, like they did back in, I don't know when it was around, like I feel like the second one.
I think it came. I forget. I think it was between 2 and 3, or maybe
yeah,
it
was
came
like
out
they did it was still whenever we were getting stuff at Blockbuster. Like, I remember it being at Blockbuster and getting it and watching it, and it was good. I love that.
Where the fuck were you, in fucking Alaska? God damn. Because Alaska still has a Blockbuster, but
so does Oregon.
I don't know.
Arkansas is a
Blockbuster. How the fuck
blockbuster.
Blockbuster is?
So what was trippy about it is I had actually just got done binging Westworld, right? Because I had already watched season 1 and I had gotten halfway through season 2 and it just fucking made my eyes roll with water and everything. So, but then right before this weekend I got through season 2 and season 3, and the big thing was what's free will, what makes you human, and all the other stuff. So going from that and then watching Matrix, it's like, oh shit, they're
Mhm.
basically talking about the same thing, which is kind of crazy because at the end of some of the Westworld's episodes, they actually have commentary, and they kept on talking about the Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix,
Yeah.
Matrix this, Matrix that, bullet time this, free will this, and all the other stuff. So it was actually kind of interesting. So I definitely say, hey, if you didn't freaking like Matrix, go back, watch Westworld season 2, season 3, and then you know,
Yeah.
it was
It
definitely
wasn't
interesting.
the worst movie I've ever seen. It wasn't the best movie ever. I was a little more entertained than I thought I would be, as I had no expectations going into it.
Exactly. But
Well,
it's
what did you think of the duality of now that Trinity is the one, and the fact that the Wachowski sisters, their status as the Wachowski sisters now? You understand what I'm talking about?
yeah.
So when the trilogy was a thing, they were the Wachowski brothers. And once again, is if you want to hate me, say, hey, it's none of my fucking business. Gotcha. Point already made. But when the trilogy was made, they were the Wachowski brothers, and now the Wachowski sisters. It was Neil back then. Now it's Trinity.
And to be honest, if they didn't do that, I was expecting them to do something like that. To be honest,
Mhm.
I wasn't all that surprised. It actually made, because of their transition in real life, it actually made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard there's supposed to be like a new Terminator coming out too.
They got
Another
to.
fucking
You got to come out with one
Terminator.
every 6. Yeah, look, you got to every 6 years. You got to fucking have another fucking Terminator.
Yeah, like I think I heard I heard that somewhere. I'm not sure, but Terminator anything I'm definitely going to see because that's a classic too.
Big fan.
That's a
Big fan.
blockbuster.
Got to have aliens. Hopefully, Disney can fix that. And Predator, as soon as they get done with their business woes and the legal woes and on the property on that one, hopefully they can fix that shit.
Wasn't there a Predator called Prey? There's a movie called Prey that's supposed to be coming out, right? It's like
yeah. But then the original creator freaking stopped him because he was like, "Well, I didn't sell it to you. This company over here, and their rights were only limited to for so many freaking productions, and they didn't have the right to sell it to you in perpetuity. So give me my money." And I don't know whether that's been settled or not, and whatever. But
Oh shit.
so that's where Marvel's at. In the meantime, they've been selling fucking comic books and all that other shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So that's where we're at. Look, it's good to have them under the thumb of a company that has a lot of money to fuck around with it. But we were like, oh man, now the freaking X-Men is owned by freaking Disney. That's really gonna be great, right? Well, it's been 3-4 years. We still haven't gotten shit. We got dribbles that they exist, but we haven't gotten any of the actual X-Men, unfortunately.
Same thing with Fantastic Four.
I can wait for Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I guess
Get it right.
Got it right.
Got to get it right. No, but I tell you what. Now that we've got Eddie, right? Eddie Brock, who's heading into the MCU at some point. We get to see the Maker, right? Because now the Maker is part of the whole Venom verse. The Maker is of course Reed Richards. He's like the evil Reed Richards, so you can freaking bring the Fantastic Four in that way. I would rather see.
thought of that.
Yeah, I would rather see something like that. You get to freaking have Doctor Doom. Once you have Doctor Doom, then you've already got freaking Kang, right? They've already established that Kang, Doctor Doom are intertwined. So there's all types of crazy stuff that I think if they can just double in the villains first and then answer with, okay, here's the villains, they're fucking things up. Boom, now we got this freaking superhero that freaking comes in, freaking saves the day. They're good. But they've got to get it right.
Excuse me, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Saga is coming back. Is that Skybound or is that Image?
Oh, that's Image.
It's Image, yeah.
Saga. I love Saga.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm so stoked. Like,
Yeah, Saga.
Brian Fiona, like such an amazing book, and to pick it up, like, oh yeah, it's been a long couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't forget what it was about.
And also long, not Saga.
Exactly.
Any
There
major
was,
plans for Chew?
For what you said, Chew?
Yeah, isn't Chew Skybound as well, or is that also?
No, choose another Image one. Yeah, that's John Landon's.
All right, then that means I can ignore everything else I read on Wikipedia because someone didn't put their information on the Wikipedia page for Skybound.
Don't trust the Wiki.
Well, I read everything when I do research.
That's good.
Yeah. Don't trust that.
Yeah, that's
Don't
why I
trust
was
that
asking for
shit.
clarification because I never know what or what not to believe from Wikipedia.
Yeah, you will fail. You will absolutely fail.
I still this podcast.
Yeah, do you know how many motherfuckers out there fucking think they're journalists because they can go on the Wikipedia? Because anybody can go on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I need to make a
Fucking editors.
Wikipedia about myself.
Yeah, you
There
should.
you go. Go do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Verified user.
Stop.
Is Skybound
Yeah.
accepting? Is there a way, if you're a creator, to submit a project or idea to Skybound?
It's a great question. I actually don't know. I know that, like, when we go to shows, we usually allow people to submit stories or artwork for our editors to check out. Other than that, I'm not sure how editorial handles submissions. I do know that I think Image Comics has an email that you can submit ideas to or stories to that they'll check. But I'm not sure what their standards are, if they require like a full art team or if it's just, you can just say, hey, this is an idea that I've got or whatever. I think they probably list out on their website probably what the restrictions are and whatnot.
Yeah, Adam, I was telling Rob that we need to make a Tornado comic book. Whenever
I've been telling him that for 3.5 years.
Exactly. I was like,
Right.
in between movies, let's make a comic book about.
I told him
Tornado.
he should do a comic book first, and then he should.
And then do a movie, and
Yeah,
then
have the
maybe like
movie
an
be right
in
where the comic book
between
ends.
for the sequels.
Yeah. You got to get. Well, you do a prequel.
A
You do a prequel,
yeah, and then
and
you
then you do a
like
one shot.
your-
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm telling you, that's what speculators are waiting for, man.
Speaking
Any
of
comic book-
speculation, Sean, if you could pick a top 5 of any books in Skybound's history to speculate on, what would they be?
That's a great question, actually. I would look at, Invincible is kind of the hottest thing right now for us. So any books in, I think I always looked at with Walking Dead because you knew The Walking Dead was going to chug along, right? So you're like, all right, cool. Like, who's going to be the next big character? Is it Abraham? Boom, pick up 53. Is it going to be Ezekiel? Boom, pick up 108. So with Invincible, like the interesting ones are going to be Conquest. So the first appearance of when Conquest shows up, when Thrag shows up, like any of the big heavy hitter characters, like those are going to be the books to pick up. Don't know when or where they're going to show up, but that's usually like your best bet.
So
Like Battle Beast was a big one, issue 19, when he showed up in that episode, people jumped on that one pretty quickly. So
Yeah, that could cut me off guard.
so this one that I'm surprised that you forget your biggest one that was the most first and heavily speculated on, and that was Walking Dead number 171, the pink signature secret variant. That was a $500 book at one point.
Ink Lorenzo, yeah, that was I actually don't even have a copy of that one. Like all the comps, like they all got mixed in, so I didn't get any of those. So I had to pick one up at Emerald City Comic Con from a dealer.
Jesus. You know, I mean, if it's your creation and your thing, there should at least be like one copy that you freaking get, man. That should
No,
really make damn
I
sense.
do get comps, which is definitely one of the benefits of working in comics. Like you get free books, so that's always great. But sometimes you just miss them, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so second to that, any secret variants that you guys come out with, those are always, you know, everybody. As soon as it pops on fucking Bleeding Full, everybody runs to their freaking local comic book shop, just in freaking case, because you never know, man. You just freaking never know.
They're fun. They're fun when they do them.
Oh yeah, because it's really because look, even for like Walking Dead 171, the art was okay. It's not freaking like, oh wow, whole shit, but just the hunt. Just the ability to freaking go to your LCS and fucking hunt for that motherfucker was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So
I think I said one of one of the midtowns, and then I flipped it because I had that flip helped me get an X-Men '94.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like hunt through, open up, look and see what first print, variant, A or B. Like that's how I had it in my Excel spreadsheet for the longest time.
oh my god, you have an Excel sheet? Jesus.
Mhm.
Even I'm not that damn
I
organized.
did. I had an Excel.
Any updates on Oblivion song?
Beyond what came out with Jake Gyllenhaal being attached, that's about all we've got. We're all able to say at the moment. So,
All right,
yeah.
cool. And of course,
I'm excited.
that's the other pick signature that's worth hunting for.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun because like those came out roughly around the same time, Oblivion Song, and then when or I think 171 came out before Oblivion Song, and it was Robert's way of kind of like let's introduce Lorenzo to the comic fans in the U.S. because he'd been working in Italy for a number of years, and so he'd been known over there. So yeah,
Awesome.
build it up.
Autumn, what's the big plan?
The big plan
2022. What's the big plan?
on what?
Or the big wish for 2022? What's
For
the move?
2022. Make a lot of money. Other than that, I don't know. Hopefully get Tornado started.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so why don't we just let Sean know what Tornado the movie is?
Tornado the movie. It's gonna be a spin-off of the
It's the same
like
thing as
Homage. It's
NATO's the
homage.
NATO movie, Sharknado, but it is based it's aliens. There's aliens that make tornadoes that suck up only porn stars from different conventions and stuff like that. The part that I play is Venus Vortex, which is the evil alien queen. So there's a lot of weird shit in it. It's like kind of like a what did Rob say? It's not actual porn. It's
It's
just
not actually. It's
yeah. It's just his hard R. So
it's definitely a hard R.
yeah. But it's gonna be fun.
I would
a lot of crazy
say
stuff.
the movie is something like White Chicks,
Yeah.
which now has a porn star in it.
Just-
She wasn't at the time.
What?
Yeah, Maitland Ward is in the movie White Chicks, but that was before she started her adult entertainment career.
Jesus, everybody's got an adult entertainment career nowadays.
You are not wrong about that.
You know.
Everybody tries to do that. That's
No.
what happens. They try.
Sean, do we have any new action figures coming out from us, Skybound, that we can be looking forward to this year?
Yeah, and I think the first two Invincible figures just came out to stores, and so that's Invincible and Omni-Man. And I think they just solicited or announced for solicits that they're going to have Adam, Eve, and Robot as the next two figures in that series.
Yes. The bloody version is sold out, obviously, and I was looking at that like.
Yeah, the McFarlane ones that we did a couple years ago have really, those are, I think people kind of forgot about them, and then the show came out and they're like, oh shoot, these are out there, and I was at I think it was at Emerald City Comic Con, and I saw someone sell one for like $90, and I was like, oh god, I should have held on a couple more of those. Yeah, it was cool. The bloody ones were awesome. The McFarlane crew, when like Robert was like, I want more blood, and then they sent us over. Here's the bloody. He's like, I want more blood. And they're like,
exactly.
There's more, and then like finally got like, no, bloody, and this thing looks like, it looks like it's been through some battles. So pretty awesome.
Yeah. Also, any action figure with blood on it is ultimately better. That makes
100%.
Everything much better too.
100%.
Except if it's female, because certain blood in certain areas just looks a little weird, man. I'm just saying, man. Yeah, because if you could, what? Because look, she has a black eye and she's got blood, man. I don't want to see her as a domestic abuse victim and shit.
Whatever. It wasn't there like the
good save.
Isn't it?
I'm
Street
saying,
Fighter,
man.
the one that you can like do the cheat for blood, or is that a different one? Which one am I thinking about? The one that you could turn on the. Anyways, yeah, but like anything with blood is ultimately better. Like there was
You talking about OG Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, OG Mortal Kombat. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Where you could turn on the blood. I always did that because you have to have the blood.
True.
It doesn't like look like it's coming from anywhere specific. Like,
hey now, I'm just trying to see the kids, because you can't freaking have the kids seeing, like somebody that looks like their mama just all beaten up and freaking strangled, unless you explain that mommy and daddy sometimes when mommy gives daddy, permission to strangle mommy, then it's okay. You can't. That's the type of blood I'm talking about, man.
Okay, go on.
you can't have.
See, Black Adam. Now you got to make it a perverted, man.
I did make it perverted. In the words of Jimmy,
we all make it perverted. I make everything perverted.
You're corrupting the love a man has between a woman and her friends when they come over. It's just.
Okay.
Apologize.
Say that again.
How often do you do your Whatnot show?
Whatnot, we do that once a month. The next show, it's coming up on actually the 14th. We'll do Whatnot on the 14th, and then we've got a regular Comics Vault Live on the 21st.
Any cool highlights for the 14th?
Oh my gosh, we just got in a bunch of. I got in some signed stuff, some CDC graded signed stuff from Robert that we'll have during the show. We got in some cool variants. I picked up a bunch of stuff when I was shopping at Emerald City and C2E2. So we've got some other cool variants that we'll put in the mix. So I'm excited to kind of have a little more of a spread of a diverse group of comics available to everyone.
Awesome sauce. Will there ever be a shot at maybe having either Walking Dead or The Invincible jump over to the graphic audio arena?
It's a good question. We ended up
just because I'm 90% visually impaired or blind or whatever. So graphic audio is like God to me.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ventured too far into that realm. We have a podcast deal with Audible, so we've been doing a couple of different podcast shows with those guys. But we haven't looked into any sort of translations into that space. It's a good idea though.
Mm-hmm.
I this is the question I was trying to ask before Lucas came on. Any chance of ever one day having a comic book in Braille?
I think that's a really fascinating idea. I don't know if anyone ever done that before. I mean,
I don't know.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Just
we'll have to figure
I'm
out.
very blessed to, even if I was to go 100%, there's still have guys like Lucas or Autumn or someone. But can you just read my comics and record them for them? But
just call me and I'll read them to you.
With disabilities into this wonderful family of comics and pop culture.
Absolutely, it's a good idea. I'll bring that up to the editorial team to see if that's something they can look into at some point.
Yeah, because you could even like do some other type of I don't know, something to make it cooler, I guess, than just
have Autumn just read it to you. I'm telling you, I would fucking
I'll be the
tune into
voice
that
on
shit.
your Audible. Uh, I'll just read the books. Just Autumn South.
Like I know you're blind, but for all you know, I'm butt naked. Like okay, everybody.
So some new ASMR type stuff for you guys
Yeah.
there. New revenue streams all day long.
Oh my god. Hey, you
Comic
remember
book
back in the day?
ASMR. Is that a thing? That's probably a thing. I would say comic book ASMR is probably
It'd be a thing now. I'll take
Is that
10%.
a thing now?
10% to the big clutch, and then you guys do all the work. I'll just collect
Yeah,
royalties.
if it gets my whatnot application approved, give a 1 point of percentage to Mr. Billo.
This is fucking crazy. Let's see.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, Adam, are you ready to get into talking about comics?
Yeah. Sean, you want to stick around for this, or do you gotta go?
I actually do have to jump. I got dinner with the girlfriend here in a little bit, so she's been pinging me like, "Hey, what's the deal?" So she's hungry. I got to cook. So she's.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time.
I appreciate hanging out with you all. It's been a really fun
I
time.
would hope to have you come back sometime in the future.
Sounds good. Hit me up anytime.
All right, thank
Nice
you.
meeting you.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Hey,
Catch you later.
well, Sean, one last thing for you.
Yes, sir.
Your 2022 stock tip.
Oh Lord. Stock tips. Holy shit. I mean, look, pharmaceuticals have been doing pretty good this past year, right?
Actually, they haven't. It's weird.
I didn't the Moderna or Merck or somebody like that went really good.
No,
I'm not
they got all that money and they're still losing money. It's crazy.
Anyway, keep an eye out for oh man, I don't know. Just buy comics.
What about beer wax or something?
Hey, I do spend a lot
I
of
hear
money.
ass butter is doing really well.
Hey, now, man. We don't need to know about your personal lubricants.
There you
Hey,
go.
thank Omega for that.
Just invest in the
Lost my earphones.
porn.
Well, awesome. Hey, awesome. Thanks, guys, for having me on. I really appreciate it, and catch you guys on the next one.
All right, thank
Absolutely,
you.
All right,
man.
see you
Freaking thanks
later.
for stopping by, man.
Bye. Thank you.
Before we get into the comic book segment of the show, how are you on time, Autumn? Do you have to go?
I do have to go. What time is it? Yes.
All right. Well, I'll see you next. We'll have a little talk during between now and Monday, and we'll prepare for next week.
We still got to play a game or something.
What game do we gotta play? What game?
Or whatever game that'll be fun for you.
Oh.
I don't know. I've got these PlayStations and Xboxes around here that I haven't freaking touched in a while, or PC shit. I don't give a damn. Shit.
What do you PC game? Do you do all type of games?
I do all types of games,
All types of games.
and I can't wait till my fucking my Steam Deck comes in.
Really?
It's just gonna be freaking.
Have you
awesome.
played Stadia? I usually play just Stadia now.
Stadia?
Have you even heard?
Sounds. Oh, Stadia, the platform.
Yeah,
I played some games on that.
Yeah, with I got the controller and like the cast and just play it wherever the heck I want to. It's awesome. I love it.
Sounds awesome. We will connect on that freaking later, man.
Of course we
But
will.
you go ahead and feed the kids and freaking put on the mommy slippers and do whatever you freaking got to do. We're so blessed to
I
have
heard
you
the little
all.
ones in the background.
You guys are so sweet.
All right,
Thank you,
Autumn, you have a
guys.
great week, and thank
Yeah.
you for joining the team.
Of course. Thank you for always having me. I'll be here next week, and
Yep.
I'll see you guys later. Okay.
All right,
Yep.
take
And then
care.
next time you got to bring the man on.
All right.
I want to see him blush. We gonna freaking.
All right,
All right. I can do that for you.
All right.
take care.
All right. Bye, guys. See you later.
All right, now we're ready to get into some comics. How's your holidays, sir?
So, you know how careful I am about my shit, right? I try not to go out anytime that I don't have to, but within the last year, we haven't just gone anywhere. So I was like, you know what? No, the birthday and the wife's birthday and freaking Christmas and all that stuff is all balled in one. So let's freaking step out, right? So we went out to so we actually got a hotel room at the MGM Grand in Maryland, thinking that hey, this is going to be a nice freaking hotel. So I was thinking it was going to be such a nice hotel that there weren't going to be a lot of people there.
Hmm.
Here's the thing. I was correct in saying that there weren't going to be a lot of people at the hotel. So, for instance, when we pulled up, there was another family that pulled up with us. That was the only other family we saw that whole fucking time in that fucking hotel,
Damn.
right? Here's the thing. The part that makes the MGM so nice is that right in the lower levels, right, there's a casino, of course, and
Mhm.
there's a whole bunch of restaurants and stores. Right. That's what makes it so freaking nice and so expensive. You don't freaking have to worry about, oh man, where I'm going to get something to eat. No, no, no. You just go downstairs and well, everybody and their mama was freaking there, man. Freaking at the freaking restaurants and all the other stuff, right? And that's what freaking kind of spoiled it. Man, freaking on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, everybody was in the freaking casino, freaking hitting them freaking lots, hitting them freaking tables, man. Bam, 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 bam. And now that's fine. I was like, okay, that's my dumb ass fault for thinking that people weren't going to be in the casinos, right? But the other thing is that there was like these nice Christmas decorations, really nice Christmas decorations. Well, so you know that everybody and their mama, there's like 1,000 people every single freaking day throughout the freaking night huddled up to take pictures with these Christmas decorations.
I agree.
So, I would say that any other time when there's not a bunch of that bull stuff around, that would be nice to freaking hang out at the MGM Grand. But other than that, man, freaking it's like ugh, ugh. If you're a hypochondriac and you don't like people, that is not the place to freaking go, especially around
Yeah,
Christmas
it
time.
doesn't sound like it works.
It
I
doesn't.
actually just had a very quiet holiday season. Didn't do much. Went to my brother's house on Christmas Day and watched three little kids go insane, opening up gifts, and
That's what
just
it's all
watched
about, man.
movies.
That's what it's all about, man.
I
Freaking
didn't want to do anything where I was around people till after I got the third shot, which I got on Monday, and I've been
ah,
pretty out of it. All week on and off.
well, good, man. Freaking, I hope you freaking stay safe, man. Freaking, people are like, well, I've got the shot, I've got the freaking booster, I'll be all right. No,
Anything I don't need to do, I'm not doing right now. And that's
yeah,
why
man.
I'm trying to just reevaluate the convention season and any other projects that don't require me to go out of my parents' house for a little bit.
Yeah, man. But that's where we're at, man. Freaking, uh, it sucks, but I've it's opened my eyes to who we live amongst. Um, Not because no, I look your personal beliefs are your personal beliefs, man, but you got to take care of the other stuff, right? No, no, stay the fuck away from me, right? Don't fucking touch me,
Yep.
and wash your goddamn hands.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
That's,
When you're sight impaired and you need sighted guide, it's like how did the people who were grabbing me?
uh,
Where the fuck are their hands been?
yeah. So right now, what I got up is I've got the Midtown, um, Midtown website up, and I didn't get really do a lot of research because and I think I explained to Al earlier that the Diamond website was down, right? So I didn't get a lot of time to
Again?
do all the research. Yeah, it was down again. I think it just came up, maybe but not enough time for me to do the type of research that I normally do. So what I want to do is again just so Midtown is a third party, excuse me, a second party seller, and I just want to go through it and see
With
like what
three
type of
beautiful
stuff's about.
locations in
Right.
Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah. So Dark Horse coming from Dark Horse, I'm looking at Apache Delivery Service number one. They've got it all sold out. Um, I don't normally speculate on any freaking Dark Horse stuff, but I do know that there's this one cover on there. It's got a pretty freaking some awesome art of a dude that's he's just obliterated and there's nothing left but his bones, but he's still got his helmet on. It's an interesting thing to see. Moving on to DC, nobody's really respecting DC right now. They are getting no respect whatsoever.
DC,
All of
I
the
think in the last year and a half,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think they're getting no love. I think give it 5 years when they get their shit together. I wish I had these books.
you know what? I also think what's happening is I think they haven't really been giving a lot of people their ever since the Batman 50 fiasco regarding the
The wedding,
wedding.
the
Yeah, the
bullshit
wedding.
wedding.
Yeah, they haven't really been getting a lot of journalists, reviewers, a lot of previews, right? And they used to put stuff on the lunar website, but they still haven't been doing that. So look, if I can't see what the hell I'm buying as a retailer, why the freaking am I going to freaking buy your freaking
Exactly.
books?
I think the biggest news story they had last year was that whole Son of Cal bullshit.
hmm So I'm looking at it right now. There is a Batman number 119 Jock foil cardstock variant cover. That one is sold out. That one was going for $36. Um, there's also the Dark Knights, still number 3. That's the storyline where Batman all of a sudden has the powers of Superman because his dad was actually Superman's dad. That one sold out at 22.50. I believe that was a 125. I believe.
Interesting.
DC Horror presents Stolen Plumber number 4. That one has consistently been being sold out. At least one of the covers. So as this
Have
one
you
that I'm
read it
talking,
yet?
I think I flipped through issue number 1. It's
At
interesting.
this point, I'm gonna just wait for the trade.
Yeah, it's in the same line as I forget the name of that the House on the Lake where it's crazy. It's a crazy ass story. But nobody's going to respect it because it's DC. HBO Max and Time Warner, they need to pull their butts out of the third point of contact and freaking start pulling these stories and putting it on their freaking channel. Look, remember that freaking horror show, that horror TV series where the Soul Reaper, the Grim Reaper. Remember
Yep.
that show? Yeah, they need to do one of those things. Just pull these freaking stories out, give it like a quick 10 to 15 minute treaty, and see how it fucking rolls. Because you've got enough fucking stories for it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's maddening. Because look, until they start doing that, pulling that stuff out, they're letting freaking Marvel get to jump on them with this what if stuff, what if stuff, and that's freaking maddening. DC has been planning to do this type of stuff, this horror stuff, for the last 3 to 4 years. They've had this
And
stuff
they've
in their
dropped the
freaking bill,
ball.
and
I thought it was
they
smart
not on-
to
they not
say
only drop the ball. It's even maddening when you let freaking Marvel, whose main money has been superheroes, get to drop on you with what if. That's freaking crazy. Um, the what's interesting is the comics that sold, the incentive variants that sold out for DC were like 1 to 25 or 1 to 50s that sold for $10-15 cheaper. They've got Detective Comics number 1047 here for $63, and that was just a 1 to 25, or was it a 1 to 50?
I think it
So
was a 150.
yeah, so that one's a lot higher than the actual ratio. So of course it's going to just freaking sit there because I've freaking read it. Nothing big really fucking happened in the
I
freaking
read
book.
Batman 119. I did not read Detective yet.
Yeah. Justice League Incarnate number 3, that's still out there.
Yay,
So
Batwoman
nothing. Yeah, nothing.
laughs. Like I give two shits.
Naomi season 1 TP tie-in cover. That's out there. All right, moving on to IDW.
Okay.
Uh, this one actually did pretty well inside the Drunken Chat freaking store this week. Transformers Best of Optimus Prime. That one is sold out at freaking Midtown right now. It's got like a headshot of Optimus Prime, and the background is kind of pinkish, which was an odd
I
choice.
need to thank Ultra for putting me onto this.
Um, Girl Scout Stone Coast number 2. Don't trust that one. What's interesting to me that didn't sell out, that's probably because
No, don't trust
we,
anything with the Girl Scouts. Fuck the
uh,
Girl Scouts.
yeah,
And their
get your
little
cookies out of
brownie
here.
smile bullshit song.
Um, a shout out to freaking all the listeners right now. Shout out to Whitney Gleeden, freaking boy FYI. Shout out to Tank Ferret and Greg Levitra. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Um, let's see, where are we at? Okay, yeah. So Hellcop, right? So Hellcop this week has, and this was issue number 3, has a cover B that has a Playboy-like layout with a demon looking straight into the freaking visual,
Nice.
just looking at you, like, hey, I will either be your greatest dream or I will fuck you up. Love it. This one did not sell out, and this which is weird because it's only $3.99. And this, I tell you what, it probably didn't sell it because I know a retailers definitely freaking got this one, so there's definitely a lot of copies out there. Da, 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 going through, and Image didn't do that well this week, man. I'm shocked by Spawn number 325 that it didn't do well. That's the one where Ninja Spawn cuts the dude's head off and has him by the neck
Mhm.
still. Two Moons number 8 freaking sold out for some freaking reason. Let's move on to Marvel. So this one, Marvel once again freaking won the week. Um,
Took the second week in a
but
row, probably.
yeah, I was a little shocked by what did sell out. Um,
I guess the
so
book of the week is Thor 20.
so yep, we'll get to that. So Black Widow number 13, cover B, the Mike McCone villains rain cover. It is a different look for Black Widow. She looks good. That one actually sold out. That one was $3.99.
I have to catch up with
None
that
of the
book so
incentives
much.
sold out. Going through, there's a new look for Captain Marvel cover D. That one had originally sold out earlier this week, but that one's back in stock. Darkhold at Mega number 1. That one's starting to sell out bits by bits.
Is that because of what happens in the guts?
Well, so if you go to the 1 to 10, which is cover D, which is a design variant. There's a character on the front. His name is Omega the Unknown, but this is a different universe. So just like I'll be talking about Thor number 20, I don't know if people actually want to. I guess people do, but look, it's a different universe. So why are we speculating that much on this? Um, and see, Electric Black and White. There's some really good freaking covers out
Some
there.
beautiful covers for that, from the
Yeah,
way they were described to me.
yeah. So Electric Black and White Blood number 1. That one's Midtown's trying to sell that one for $40, but I think that one was that one's just a 1 to 25, but they jacked the price up on 25 for that one. What did sell out was the is
John
it
Boy
John Boy
Myers.
Meyer? Yep, John Boy Myers cover. That one sold out. That one's sold out at 449. Um, see the extreme. What's interesting is that the Inferno, had a lot of freaking covers, but nobody's buying it, right?
I don't think anyone's reading it either.
Yeah, I mean, so I read it. It's pretty good, but there's no new characters in there or anything like that. So once again, the big thing about it's really about more Taggart, right?
Yep.
Because we knew how many lives she's got. We know that she's got 10 lives. That's what we know. Um, but we don't know what all the lives are. In this particular one, her mutant ability has taken away from her, and her mutant ability has been to come back as a different person or whatever, right? So in this particular issue, it's taken away, and interesting enough, it actually freaking chops off her arm. Well, that's going to set the stage for some other stuff. So if you think I'm spoiling shit, I'm not spoiling shit because this is stuff that's been already explained at Power S and House of X and all that other shit. So they're just kind of fleshing it out on what led to those particular freaking events. But it's setting up the way for her to become another character. I can see that. The Star Wars Dr. Aphra Volume 2, number 17. The one that sold out for that is the Scott Forbes. It's like a close-up headshot. It's kind of weird. And then the one that you wanted to definitely hear about is Thor number 20.
God,
So
those
I am
cameras.
gonna hate on this particular cover and this particular speculation. You know why? Because I get to. You know why I get to freaking speculate on, freaking hate on this? Because I'm the one that told y'all motherfuckers about this weeks ago.
At least 3. I know it
Yeah,
was
3 weeks
right
ago.
before we
Yep.
went on break with Drunken Shot.
hmm So not only that, I got my freaking cover. So what's interesting is when people started asking me about it, I said, "Hey, freaking get the cover A, because the cover A, I'm showing it right here, is the only cover, unfortunately with my fucking blurred out shit, uh, that actually has that particular character on the freaking cover. So that's why that one is going for $20. And if you're like, oh well, you're fucking shitting on it because you don't have the the other one. Yes, I do. I got it right here. So here's the deal. If you haven't been freaking reading about what's been going on, this is a freaking different. This is a freaking different universe. This is some different shit that's freaking going on. Um, we don't know what the fuck is going on. And anthropomorphic freaking objects, they don't freaking last very freaking long, right? But who knows what freaking Donny Cates? Who knows what other freaking hammer they're gonna fucking pull out their fucking batucas, or
Oh
what
yeah,
other issue? Like, oh yeah, man, freaking that's not the first appearance of this freaking cover character.
I'm interested to read it. I read everything Donnie does. I was kind of surprised when this was book of the week. I was just like, okay. People are gonna piss and moan and biss and groan because they didn't get copies. Like I never, missed minutes last week. Which if everyone watches this show or Wednesday Night Presser by Ultra Maximus, which comes on after this, sometime in the wee hours of the morning, and you would have been prepared. This show isn't all about tits and ass butter. We give good tips on comics every now and then.
Every now and then, every now and then.
Yep.
Let's see, skipping over Marvel because there's Wasteland, there's Doom. Who gives a fuck about that? Space Core. I'm looking at. Oh, so Fourth Man at number 1. That was another one that we talked about on the show and Drunken Chat. That's the one with the pancakes with the Waffle House
Yep.
freaking type cover. Also we talked about, yeah. So Fourth Man, that was the one with the inflatable freaking man. We talked about that one. Um, Buckhead number 2 is not doing well, fortunately.
Why?
It's fine, you know.
You think maybe that one day that will pick up?
Well, they usually pick up after the what you call the trades. That's when people get to take a look at it and see what it actually did. But we'll see. I don't think people will freaking. I don't know if people will freaking get it. But if you're seeing what I'm seeing, whereas Disney and a bunch of these other studios are trying to get more into African type content, then you're gonna know that they're gonna look for other stuff that's out there, and Buckhead, Bitterroot, all that stuff is going to be prime for it. I am looking at Dynamite Entertainment right now. I don't see anything. Oh yeah,
Yes.
the evil Ernie number 2. That's the Teen Spirit freaking homage cover.
Yep.
Um, in fact, I think that lawsuit with the baby, it didn't get
Didn't
settled.
that just get settled?
No, it got thrown out.
Yep.
It got thrown out because he was fine saying, well, no, I don't like them using my, until he says, well, it's analogous to child porn. But he said that shit. The judge got pissed and said, yeah, you're done. You're
Yeah.
fucking done.
Shot himself in the foot.
Kiss Phantom Obsession number 4. And I think that's it. Panther had some good covers, but it's not doing too well right now. Red Sonja number 5. That one's interesting that nobody's picking up on that one because there were some really good covers and it has the first appearance of her daughter a little bit more grown up. What did do well is the Red Sonja cover L variant homage. And this homage is actually so. What's that? That it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage to the first appearance of the Mauser joint.
Yep.
It uses the same color scheme, but instead of the Mauser being there, it's basically her tits. That one is sold out.
Yeah.
That one is sold out. Believe it or not.
Excellent.
And then the other ones that sold out. Oh, so interesting. So we talked about this one. There is the Vampirella Dracula Unholy #1. The
Yep.
cover are Adam Hughes has sold out. And then there's a cover S by is that by Archer? I don't think so. Who's that by? Oh, Shannon Mayer. The Shannon Mayer freaking limited edition has sold out as well. So
Oh wow.
let's learn on that one. It's like if you like the freaking cover, stop getting the incentive variants. Get the freaking limited edition joints, right? Because you don't have to worry about, hey, I need to get 11, 12, 13, none of that. Get the limited edition versions. Yes, it'll cost you about $45, or if you can get with me, I can get it to you for 35. And you don't have to worry about how many copies are out there because I think they're limited to like 5,000 for these bad
Something like
boys.
that.
Yeah, and that's all you got to freaking worry about. Let's see. They say you got some gaming cards in here. How's moving cast? All right, Crystal. All right. Um, and then to close us out, let's see.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Something in the trunk, separate and son.
You know what I've been watching, man? I've been watching I Love Lucy, man.
You see the movie that came out?
Being the Ricardos,
Yeah,
absolutely amazing,
yeah.
amazing.
I still have to.
Freaking it's great because it comes at you from three different no fucking standpoints. Number one, the inner relationship in between Lucy and Desi. That's fine. But then it's also set against the backdrop of communist, the Red Scare, the
Yep.
stuff that went on in Hollywood, right? And then you've got the tension between the familiar relationship along with that, and then you've also got the same old freaking made made men freaking stuff where hey, people aren't treating Lucy correctly because she's a woman, right? And they've got that stuff type of stuff going on, so it's got a lot of stuff going on, and I think that if they wanted to put that up for an Oscar, it probably should win. But the problem is that right now there's this political movement like, hey, okay, we can't keep having the same freaking stories. How many stories about Hollywood and what the fuck happened on in Hollywood are you going to freaking keep passing off? Nobody freaking cares. Um,
And this one, I think people care. I mean, Lucille Ball is an icon, and especially in the comedy world. That's like just you know holy ground.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, she was an icon for a decreasing population, right? No,
Yep.
um,
Back there in the 50s.
yeah. Let's see. So what I did not know, and this didn't actually come from the movie, is that so one interesting thing that I didn't know is so no Desi had actually cheated on freaking Lucy, and then like maybe a year to 2 years after that, they freaking got divorced, right? So you're like, oh man, that was the end of Desi's career. No, he actually had a production company called Desilu Productions.
Yep.
Desilu Productions was responsible for such hits as
Star
yeah,
Trek.
Star Trek, yep, and Mission Impossible. So and a whole bunch of other stuff, man. But yeah, and I didn't know that freaking Lucy had a whole bunch of other shows. She had the Lucy Show. She had, like she had like three other shows just around her after that. So
Oh
that shit
yeah,
was really
just
crazy.
her Silver Age back issue speculation. There is a great series of Lucy comics from Dell that have some beautiful folder covers.
Yeah.
I'll do some for one or two of those for Hidden Gems for Friday night, assuming that we're back in action.
Absolutely, man. All right, so let's quickly hit some of the good stuff for FOC this
Yeah,
coming week.
and
I'm
then
not
we'll
going to
bring it on
go.
home.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of it. No, we'll if we do drunken chat, we'll freaking hit that stuff.
And just send me an email Friday morning to let me know drunken chat's happening so I can prep Hidden Gems.
Not Friday morning, man. I gotta fucking work Friday morning.
Friday night. Sometime during the day. Let me know.
Friday night when I'm fucking trying to get my way out of the fucking drunken days. All right, Avengers number 53. And I think all this week or possibly all this month because it's her anniversary of her creation. They're going to have a whole bunch of Gwen covers. And this Avengers number 53, there's the X Gwen variant. It looks freaking great. She's fucking riding a fucking dragon. And Amazing Spider-Man. There's the Queen Red Goblin. She's right there on the freaking cover for the cover A. And then there's also a 1 to 10 freaking design variant. I think
so
that's what people
this week's FOC, right?
Yes, sir. In Miles Morales Spider-Man, there's a great one where he's getting gripped up by Quasar. I think that's what his name is. There's also a freaking Gwen variant for Miles Morales for some freaking reason, where she's dressed up as Captain Britain.
Sitting in the tree, yo.
But he's not on there. It's just her in a Captain Britain costume. It's weird.
All right, that's cool.
Captain Marvel has a cover coming out by Rian Gonzalez, which is it's like a quadrant of Gwen, and then the other quadrant is a whole bunch of other different freaking female characters. It's freaking weird. I don't know what they're going for that, but here we go. There's going to be Excellent that's going to come back. And there's a 150 David Mack variant that's out there. I don't know. It freaking scares me. It absolutely freaking scares me that there's this little no name freaking comic that nobody asked for, and then there's a 150 by an artist that nobody really pays attention to, by David Mack. It freaking scares me. So I'm gonna have to read this list later.
People would be better off just going to on the eBay or one of the third-party sellers and just buying the 150 straight up.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Thor number. What's this? Thor number. I don't know what number this is. Actually, let's go to the Marvels. Marvels has another one coming out by Alex Ross. It's pretty great. It's got the Avengers fighting along with some of these soldiers from, I believe, the Vietnam War. Maybe they're the Korean War. Also, looks like freaking. Let's go to Spider-Woman number. I wish they would put the freaking numbers on these joints. Spider-Woman also has one coming out this week. This one is by Jung Yoon. It's got freaking her, and it looks like she's surrounded by some of her villains, but it also looks like there's a scroll in there somewhere. Don't know what that's all about. But there's also going to be a Momoko variant where it's just got a freaking spider on her face for some freaking reason. But the one that people are going to want to pay attention to is going to be Black Widow number 5. This one is an Adam Hughes cover where it's basically got her back fucking whipped and the blood is coming out of her back. Spells Black Widow. Definitely some interesting freaking new age shit. Let's see, there's also a Bengal cover, some Star Wars stuff that nobody cares about anymore. There's a Ghost Rider freaking cover. I don't know who this artist is, but it looks freaking amazing. He's riding a new bike that I've never seen before, and it looks like a freaking chainsaw. It's freaking amazing. In-Hyuk Lee also has a Ghost Rider freaking cover, and that one looks amazing. Problem is, it's that there's too many freaking covers, and I don't know if this is an incentive. There's also a Momoko cover. Once again, she's doing amazing work. It looks fine if you're a freaking Momoko hack. Let's see.
Is that what we're calling her fan base now? The Momoko hacks?
Yes, we are Momoko hacks.
Someone in the audience tweet that. Momoko hacks.
The Thing has something on FOC. So this one where it gets interesting, and this is the one that I'm definitely gonna want to read. Um, so there was a story early in the Fantastic Four lore about a guy who freaking takes over Ben Grimm's body so he can infiltrate the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Reed Richards goes off to the negative zone with who he thinks is Ben Grimm. The guy freaking tries to kill Reed Richards, but later on they notice that the freaking stuff from the negative zone is trying to kill him. Reed Richards ends up leaving that guy in the negative zone, and we never hear from them ever freaking again. Um, so I've always wondered what happened to that freaking guy, right? So it looks like they're going to retell that story, and the only reason why I say this is because they're using the same artwork from the interiors from that freaking story,
Oh wow.
drawn by Steve Ditko. So it's going to be an interesting one. I've gotta have this one. And now that they're bringing this back, I'm going to go back. I got to figure out which issue that was from Fantastic Four, and I'm going to buy that
I'll
issue
do
right
some research too. 'Cause I love Silver Age SS.
now. Let's see. The Hulk is coming out as well. Black Panther has got some stuff. It's freaking. It's weird, man. So so look, Black Panther had the Wakanda Agents of Atlas and shit, right?
Yep.
And nobody gave names. So now they're integrating that into the full Black Panther book. And guess what? Nobody still nobody freaking cares, right? Like
Why can't we just have a normal Black Panther book without all the gimmicks?
because they've tried that, right? They keep hiring these people who know nothing about Africa. Like Tanishi Coates, who talks a good deal, but he doesn't know shit about freaking Africa. And you come up with a terrible Black Panther book every single freaking time. She Hulk's got a cover out by Jen Bartel. It looks amazing.
Nice.
Her in a little freaking 80s pantsuit. Um,
Nice that they're
and then
bringing that back.
yep, and then you got a Gwen Stacy Wolverine mashup. Um,
Gwenoween.
yeah, it's weird.
Awesome titties of
Stuff by
Gwenoween.
Shang Chi. You got stuff by Phoenix. You got a cover by Phoenix
Is
Echo
anyone
that's
even
out
reading
there.
that Shang-Chi book?
Nah, I freaking stopped at the fucking movie. Like, okay, who fucking cares? Moon Knight's got some freaking covers coming out.
Good book,
Nothing
good series.
special. I will say that there's an X Labs of Wolverine that's coming out. Nobody's gonna freaking miss this book. Everybody's gonna see it. Every freaking retailer is gonna freaking have
There's going to
this
be like
big.
5 million store variants and yada yada yada.
You know it. Let's see. What I will say is that there is a Miss Marvel that's on FOC, and they looks like they have somebody that is dressed up as Miss Marvel, but Miss Marvel Kamala Khan has taken the mask off this person, so it's going to be a big reveal. It's probably not going to be a new character at all. So people just need to know that if people were speculating that that next one's going to be anything, probably not. Uh, New stuff. Ben Riley, Spider-Man, and Venom. Nothing special in the Venom range. Electra, the Electra Black, White, and Blood has an amazing freaking cover. Unfortunately, it's like Paolo Sierra or something like that. It's amazing, like black backsplash freaking joint. Um, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop is coming out.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's an amazing cover by Anya Lee with Silk. Looks like it's got Silk and I think that's White Fox. Is that White Fox or
All right, one of those
maybe it's
newest
Wave?
favorite girl.
Yeah. There's also looks like a Jen Bartel cover for Silk, or I might be mistaken. Halcon Legacy's got one, an amazing freaking cover. Looks like by EM Gist. It's got a couple of amazing covers out there. Gwynverse actually has a freaking book coming out. Man, they've got too much stuff coming out. Um, and one of them is by Momoko. Looks like a design variant by Momoko. Daredevil Without Fear is going to be out there. Savage Spider-Man, I believe that actually just passed this past week, so we're not going to go into that. And there's also the Edge of Spider-Verse Gwen Stacy, the facsimile.
Yay!
Coming out. So it looks like they're back to their
I think that's
old
going to be a good reprint.
freaking tricks. So that's all I got, Adam. You got it. Go ahead and close this out, brother. Oops.
You tuned in
Go ahead.
tonight. I want to thank Autumn South for joining me as the new co-host each and every week. Sean Kirkham, Big Clutch, thank you for being the guest. Check out all the amazing happenings in Skybound. I want to thank the Nemesis, David Howard, for being the man in the chair. Lucas, if you need anything, check him out on the Pull Box. I'd like to thank 98 Wednesdays. Get your comics in a guarantee 98 each and every Wednesday. Key Collector Comics. Check their app out. Blind Atom. All one word. Lowercase. 2-3 weeks of Key Collector on Blind Atom. Big Apple Comic Con. Coming back to New York City. March 26th at the New Yorker Hotel. Check that out. Of course, you don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens to, it's what you do about it. We've got one sponsor, www.newjerseycomicbookshows.com. The Clifton Comic Book Expo this Sunday, January 9th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Clifton Rec Center. Check out my good friend Mark from Calamity Collectibles. Just look for the fat kid that looks like Jonah Hill. Tell him I said that. Little bitch. And, I love you all. Stay safe. Get your shots. Wear your masks. I love you. Blind Atom out.
Viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you feeling like a pimp